Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to being diagnosed with ADHD later on in life. Now I'm just going to explain to you, if any of you have had this or got this or just been diagnosed with it, I can honestly say, now thinking back through my life and my childhood, the things that I've gone through and probably put people through has been horrendous. And just sort of getting married and the way I must have been, and you don't see it as someone that's got it. You don't sort of look outside yourself and see what sort of harm and things you're doing to other people around you and when you're growing up. But when you're a kid and you've got this and you don't know that you've got it and your parents don't know that you've got it, it must have been horrendous for them as well. So I'm just going to talk you through, as an artist, sort of finding out. I'm now 51, so I've basically sort of looked into this thinking something's wrong. There is definitely something wrong. Is it depression? Because I went through depression ages ago and the doctor just pumps you full of antidepressants and that sends you on a journey you don't want to go down. I've been down that route. But now I'm looking into all these different sort of podcasts on it and people explaining ADHD and what it's about, and these are the symptoms, and if look out for this and this. I look at my day-to-day life and I think, oh my God, it's absolutely horrendous, guys. It really is. It's like your brain is in two halves and it's fighting against each other. Each side is fighting. So being an artist, it is really, really overwhelming when you have this, because yes, I'm creative, which makes it, I think, even worse, because your brain is running at 1,000 times quicker than like a standard person that's doing their normal day to day. Where I'm thinking of something to paint, I'll be thinking of that project the whole day, sorting it out, everything going through my mind before I go to bed. Then I'm trying to go sleep at night. It's racing, it's racing, it's racing. And that's why I've sort of, I mean, I'm on the back wing now. This is what everyone's been waiting for, was the back wing. And I said I wasn't going to sort of show you the process on this because I've been really struggling with focusing to get on paint. And I've said in my previous videos as well, when I paint, I sort of like smash portraits out really quick. And another thing of ADHD is you don't see like time how other people see it. It's really weird. To me, it feels like you're racing to find time. Your brain is racing to try and, it's like you're trying to catch up with time. You set yourself a goal, like I'm going to paint this in 2 hours. And if you don't achieve that, you are forcing yourself to try and achieve it, because I've got an attention span of sort of like the hyper focus, as they say. I can really hyper focus on something, but the slightest things that distract me, it could be my wife knocking the door to give me a cup of tea, and I can just completely fly off the handle. And I mean fly off the handle. Your temper and rage with this thing is ridiculous, guys. My missus has turned around to me times and said, I think you need to be sectioned, because you can go from calm and happy-go-lucky to complete and utter psycho within seconds, and it can be the simplest thing that does it. A big one for me is in the kitchen. If I'm in the kitchen, certain noises will trigger me from 0 to rage in seconds, like a light switch, and I just want to kill someone. It's like ridiculous. So this morning I get up, get out of bed, come downstairs, completely absolutely fine. Walk into the garden, see something in the garden that was done yesterday and it's failed, and it's like I'm now overthinking, raged up, thinking, why is this doing this? 101 things going through my mind. I've done this and this. Why isn't that working? Because I did this. And then I come in and I'm like raged. And then you go from rage to, it feels like you've ran a marathon in a split second of going to rage. It feels like I've done a 26-mile marathon and you are exhausted and you flatline. You plummet so quick and it just feels like you want to go back to bed. There's times when I've been painting, can't focus. I've tried to focus on these things because when you're an artist, you try and better yourself. So you're fighting against yourself to create better artwork, better artwork, better artwork. You do a piece and it's like, what? I've done better than that 10 years ago. Why am I achieving like this now? I should be better. I look at my previous stuff and think, why am I doing that then and not now? It's like I'm struggling. So I'm walking away from these projects, but I'm taking more and more projects on to keep the workflow going, to keep the bills being paid. And it's like this overwhelmingness of I've got that project to do, I've got this one to do, I'm battling with this ADHD, I've got to get to the doctors to get medicated to try and balance it out, because my mind is just like Jekyll and Hyde at the minute. It really is. So if any of you are going through the same thing, you've probably been diagnosed at a young age. I mean, I wish I'd have been diagnosed at a young age, because I've also got, I'd say I've got ADHD plus dyslexic, big time struggled as a child with that. So I battle with that. And the bad thing with ADHD is if you go to read something, because I'm not great at reading and writing anyway, if you go to read something when you've got ADHD, you go over it and over it and over it and over it. It's so hard. It's like comments on the channel. I will read it and then read it again, go back, read it again. Before I have to comment back, then I have to go over my comment again. Before I send, it's horrendous. It is absolutely horrendous. And now I'm getting all these memories of a child flooding back to when I was growing up, thinking, oh my God, I can see it all clearly. And now why I was like this was happening, why I struggled with this, why I struggled with that. It's like it's all, the floodgates have opened all at once. And it is ridiculously overwhelming to try and cope with, because everything is just flooding back. More so now I've got older. I think a lot of it when you're a child, when you're young, you're more active, you're doing this, you're doing that. You get older, you slow down, so your metabolism slows down. You don't create as many endorphins as you want, and it's endorphins that you want to balance your brain out when you've got ADHD, so you lack that. So then you have to go to the doctors to get medicated, which boosts the endorphins up, which is the good bit that sort of levels your brain out. So I just wanted to do this video, and my wife says you should do a video on this, tell people what you're going through. I mean, it's not really sort of the channel. I should have a separate channel saying ADHD channel, but there's been a lot of comments on, like, I did the video the other day about, do you really want to go down the path of being a custom painter? I should have put, do you really want to go down the path of being a custom painter with ADHD? No, you don't, because it's an absolute nightmare, guys. It really is. Because you're, as I say, you're trying to focus on details, and you're looking from one screen to the next, one screen to the next, and you're focus. And your brain is like, but I've been watching a lot of podcasts and professors and things like that that study this, because you go down the NHS route. I've seen like TikTok videos of like people saying they're struggling to get seen, struggling to get medication, and I've got this hurdle to take. So if any of you have dealt with this and you're on medication, share your thoughts, guys, because I've got to get back into like focusing on work. I've got this to get done. As you can see, we're doing the graveyard scene, and I sort of blasted this bit out. We've got the first sort of mapped out area on this, and I've got probably another 2 days on this, but I've got to be in the right frame of mind, and I just sort of keep pushing it back, trying to do different things, go out, walk the dogs, fresh air, try and focus, clear my mind before I take on a project. So if you've not got ADHD and you struggle with artwork, stick this into the mix, and it's like them little emojis where you see the head going, that's how it feels. Sleep is a nightmare. They also say that people with ADHD, you can quickly jump into sort of, to release endorphins, you jump onto like, you can misabuse drugs, because you crave a drug to release the endorphins. So smoking's one, probably drinking, recreational drugs is another one. Vaping, which I do because they say it's another thing, hand to mouth. It's that you you sort of self-medicate to try and level yourself out. Caffeine is a big one. Now, I was hammering caffeine like you wouldn't believe, 15, 16 cups a day, but I was focusing on it, and this was through the channel when I've been painting. Coffee, 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 coffee. And what coffee does for an ADHD is it sort of levels you out. A lot of people, it will race you up and like vroom, get you going, but an ADHD has got that already. Their brain is vroom, 100 miles an hour. So dropping that into the mix releases another, I think, thing in your brain where it sort of levels you out and you sort of level out. It's like I can drink coffee all night till 1 in the morning and go to bed and fall asleep. There's not many people that can do that. If you didn't have ADHD, you'd be awake and you'd be going through the night. But because I can do that, where I can sort of, it levels its out sort of thing with the caffeine, I can then fall asleep, which is really weird. I can sleep through the rest of the night. It's weird. And then jump straight back onto the caffeine. But then doing that caffeine run, I've done years of that, and then I've stopped it. I came off caffeine and I've stopped sort of coffee and sort of drink tea. Water, a lot more water and tea. But now I think to myself, oh, I need caffeine again to try and just level this out, but I can't go down that route again. So it's doctors, and we'll see what the doc says, see if they can medicate me up. But I just wanted to run this through and just do this little video. So if you are experiencing things like this, where slightest noises can set you off from 0 to 100 rage and focusing, doing silly things. This sounds really weird, but doing silly things like if you're cooking toast, I did this the other morning, I put toast under the grill. I turn the thing on, the grill's on. Then I set myself a challenge in my mind to do this, and this before that toast is done. And I have to do it within under a minute. And I do these sort of things every day where I'm going, right, I'm going to do this within this time. And it's that time, it's like you're chasing and trying to compress everything into that little bit of time. It's weird how you perceive time. It seems like it's gone so quick, and you're trying to push everything into that short space of time, which then exhausts you physically. Your mind is on sort of point, 100 miles an hour, but then you crash and burn so bad to the point where you can eat loads and loads and loads and loads of food. You're racing and racing and racing. You're not exactly doing physical racing, but your mind is racing that quick. You get to burn out very fast. And I found this in the body shop, where I love the body shop because I'm in a booth and I'm out the way of everybody else. And another thing for me is if I'm set a task to do something, leave me to do that task. Do not interrupt me while I'm doing that task or change the goalposts, because that completely fries my brain. I will know exactly what I've got to do. If you tell me the night before, I know what I'm doing. I set myself, I've sorted it all out in my mind. I go there, do the task to 100% focus and get that perfect, and that's how I sort of work. But you interrupt me in the moments of that, and it fries your brain. You can get overwhelmed by other things going on. It's just a roller coaster. It really is a roller coaster of a ride, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I really wouldn't. So if you are sort of can relate to any of this, I don't want to sound like I'm the only person out there that's weird and like this, but if you can relate to this and you've been medicated and things, just drop it in the comments. Any input, I'd love it, because it's like quite soothing when you listen to someone else is going through it, and it's like, I'm not the only person out there. But there's hundreds and thousands of people going through it. And there's been podcasts on TikTok saying the NHS and doctors are sort of not, it's hard to get diagnosed about it. I've seen one where a girl's been given medication, and now she's struggling to get the medication off the NHS because they're either running out or whatever. And then she literally will have a prescription of pills, and she will pick the days that she wants a good day, and then days where she's going to have a terrible day because she can only have an amount of pills because there's not that many about. And it's like, oh my God, now I've got to go down this route of, oh, Friday I'll pick that pill because I'll have a Friday, I've got enough to go Friday to have a good day. Everyone else is going to go through shit on the rest of them and put up with my behaviour. And my behaviour must have been horrendous for people. It really must have been. Being in crowded family spaces, you zone out. My mind zones out. I can't do with busy, crowded, noisy places. I can't stand in queues with people being slow. If I'm shopping, I cannot go round somewhere slow and be held up slow. Fast pace, always full steam ahead, into a shop, round, out. I cannot walk around like a snail looking at stuff because my mind is like, I know what I've got to get in there, get out, done, get in the car, go. I had the same thing and went to Tesco's yesterday to get a loaf of bread, and it was a case of, right, I've got to go to Tesco's. I really don't, because I'm thinking scenario, there's nowhere to park, I'm going to be parked off on the curb down the side of the road. It's the school time, all the school kids go in there in the morning to get their fixes of energy drinks and sugars and E-numbers. It is packed. They even have a policy at Tesco, 24 from me, where you're only allowed 7 school kids in at once because they have to queue up outside and the security guard has to let so many in. That's how bad it is at Tesco round the corner from me. So I pulls up. The first thing that instantly sets me off is looking across at a disabled parking bay, and some arsehole has parked across 2 bays that were like that, and he's parked his car like that. A young lad has parked his car across 2 disabled bays. So now I'm thinking, right, I need to go and bang on this lad's door, drag him out the fucking car and tell him to move it because someone who's disabled would need to park there, but he's not in the car. So you're building yourself up to walk towards the car to see this arsehole in it, look through the door, he's not there. I'm thinking, right, he's in Tesco's. So now I'm hunting this guy in Tesco's thinking, which one is it? I'm just going to say who's the dickhead in the Fiesta. While I'm in there, it's chaos. There's people, there's school kids, it is like wall-to-wall chaos. And now I'm like, you go through that, I've got to get out, I've got to get out, I've got to get out. So you'll race round, pick the bread up, I can see an empty till, I've gone to the till, someone steps in front and chucks a load of crap on the till, and they know each other. And then they're talking, and I'm standing behind going, I just want to get out, I just want to get out. Come on, move, 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 get your stuff, go, 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 go. Go to the till. I've even got the change counted, read it, so I can just go, she can go scan, scan, out. Out the door, jump in the car, straight back home, out the car, in home. Chaos, gone. And then I've gone from rage again to flat line, sit on the settee, gone. Completely sparko, like complete and utter drained. And then an hour later, bang, back up, and I'm like, whoop, back up again. Right, I've got to catch up on the time I've missed out on because I went to sleep. I didn't get done what I wanted to get done. So now I'm full steam ahead, either in the studio making a video for you guys, painting, doing something. It's that day in, day out, day in, day out, day in. And it's like, it's coming to the point where my wife goes, I can see you being on your own very soon, or you're going to get sectioned, get this sorted out. So I've been looking and thinking, right, it's got to be this. The things that I'm going through, I've been looking at the ADHD videos and podcasts of scientists and professors, and it's like, tick, 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 yeah, I can tick all them boxes. It must be that. So it's got to be. So doctors for me. So if you are going through these, I really can sort of relate with you, I really can. And it's horrendous. I know what you're going through, it is horrendous. But there are good things that we have with it, when we are focused on something, whether it be your wife, your loved one, your pet, you're 100% committed, you are 100%, and there are very good traits of it as well. But I'd say the bad ones outweigh the good. They really do. So yeah, if any of my family members are watching, I'm sorry for what I've ever put you through. Now knowing what it is, I just thought it was me. That's my DNA, that's how I am. That's how my dad was. Now I'm thinking, you must have had it as well. But I didn't know. But you must have, because he was the same. And it's like, oh my God, does this come down the genes? Does it do I get it from him? But I can see now a lot of it in my father, and it was like, I'm just glad I'm sorting it out now, you know, got a bit of life left. Be nice to be level-headed and just sort of like say to all the family members past, you know, I'm sorry for what I've put you through. If I was an absolute arsehole at the time, I didn't realise, but I can put it down to this being this, you know. This is where my mind was running consistently, and these are the slightest things. That's why that happened. That's why we did that. That's probably why I went down that path in my life and screwed that up and messed that up and screwed that situation up and ignored that person and done this and done that. That's all I can think of it being, because deep down, I'm not a bad person, you know. I really aren't. There's a lot of people there go, yeah, he's a sound geezer, he is, salt of the earth, help anyone. And I would help anybody that's in need of help, you know, you just do. You know, I'm not the sort of person to walk down the street and there's someone begging that's got less than you and he's living in a cardboard box. He's going to get money out of my pocket, whether I ain't got a pot to piss in that day, he's having that money because I've got a little bit more than what that guy's got. And I always think that, you know, help other people out, you know, the more you help other people out, good things happen to you. So fingers crossed, we get sorted. But the channel's going to still run. I just wanted to put this one out there. It's not airbrush related, but we've got a background of airbrushes. So if you come across to the channel like Dred Custom Paint, we're talking about ADHD, but yeah, there's a process going on. Not today, but we've got the bat wing going. We've got some other cool stuff coming up as well. I picked a job up yesterday, which is going to be coming up, which is an Audi A3 bonnet. And we've got to do Only Fools and Horses, Del Boy and Rodney on it. Little portrait scene on that. So that came in late last night, from someone that I'd done work for, gotta be 12, 13 years ago. He's like pulled up, hello Rob, how you doing mate? Got a job for you, you're just the man. It was like, yeah, cool, we'll do it. So yeah, that is coming up. So there's loads of stuff coming up that I've got to get my head round. But as I say, going through this, if anyone's going through it, I feel for you, I really do, you know. Drop it in the comments, guys. It's horrendous. It really is horrendous. As I say, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But it can be treated with medication. So I was looking at the medication, and this professor's going, people self-medicate. Cocaine, amphetamine, cannabis. Now, I'll openly admit, cannabis for me as a smoker or ex-smoker, cannabis for me doing this is incredible. It's like you get cannabis that completely plants you on your arse and you're comatose. But for someone that's got ADHD on cannabis, it's that even. It puts you in that sort of level of a normal person on a day-to-day. It brings you on that even keel, but then gives you the creative and the hyper focus for someone that's got that. So if you're someone that has got ADHD and you can relate to, yeah, smoke a bit of green, mate, because that will level you straight out. I have tried that. If I do try cannabis, it completely levels me out. And the focus I can do on this sort of stuff is incredible. I will paint all night, every night, doing this on detail. Absolutely love it, get full on into the zone. So they're saying that, they're saying cocaine because cocaine releases endorphins. Now it's endorphins that are low when you've got ADHD. So your endorphins in your brain are really, really low. So hitting recreational drugs like cocaine, there's no way I'm going down that route. I couldn't afford to go down that route and I wouldn't want to. Amphetamine as well is another one. So them two. So when you go to the doctors and they prescribe you with medication, the actual medication they prescribe you, there's 3 of them. I'm not clued up with the names, but I have sort of looked at this professor guy that says these 3 drugs that they prescribe you is basically amphetamine based. They are identical to street as amphetamine. So an amphetamine on a normal person will race you up, releases endorphins, vroom, you're sort of focused, you're tuned in, it does that. I've usually got that permanently anyway, that zing, point focus. So putting that into the mix with me will level and release the endorphins that I'm missing. So we'll have to see, we'll have to wait and see. I'm either going to be on the next video in the studio like I'm on time lapse, but like this. Tasmanian Devil 100 mile an hour painting. It'll just be a permanent time lapse, Dred FX custom paint. The time lapse king where I'm just completely like, yeah, I've been medicated guys, look at me go. Or I'll be the complete opposite and I'll be a zombie dribbling in the corner of the studio with an airbrush in my hand going, today's video guys, I was thinking of painting this. Dribble, dribble, paint. It's going to go one way or the other. So we will see. But I just wanted to share it with you guys. Let you in on what's going on in my head. I'm still here. I'm still making videos. I'm still going to do the teaching because I absolutely love it. Really do love doing the teaching for you lot. Whether it's reviews, airbrush reviews, step-by-steps, beginner's guides, things like that. But I do like your feedback. I really do, because me with this is like, what video shall I do tomorrow? I've got to do a step-by-step for them. Now, what shall I paint? You know, and I have to sort of think like a beginner. What would they want to see? What do they want to paint? Because some things are like way too advanced, and it's like, well, I shouldn't have really done that for a video. But in my mind, it's like, I want to paint something that's challenging me so I can progress, than paint like a Mr. Man figure. But I've got to think, well, not everybody's to that stage where they are where I am with it. There's people that are just picking up a brush out of a box and going, oh my God, what does that do? Paint over the face, wiping it. What do I do? So I've got to relate to them. So your input on the videos really does help. It really does. When you put, look, don't think you're just like, I'm making a video for you. You know, I don't mind that. If someone puts a comment up, they've done it on the channel, they've gone, any chance you could do a video on, as long as it's not, I'd love to see a review on this airbrush. It's like, if a company sends me a brush, I can do you the review, not a problem, but I can't warrant spending the money to buy an airbrush, like £100 and £200 airbrush, to go, right, I've chinned all that money, I'll do the review, because I don't get that back. When companies send stuff out, it's great because I can do reviews for you guys and it's not costing me. Yes, it's still costing me my time, but they send you the brush out, which is really nice. I do a review for them, and at the end of the day, they benefit out of it. I get a free brush, whoopee-doo, it's another one for the shelf, like I need anymore, I don't. I'll probably need 2 brushes off that shelf, and it's enough. I don't need all these brushes. These are the ones that I've brought over the years and accumulated from people, kind companies, sending them out to do reviews. So if there's something that you want me to do a review on, if I've got it, I'll gladly do a review. But if I've not, I can't warrant buying it off Amazon to do a review and go, I'm £100 down now and that video's not earned me that. in ad revenue. So we have to look at it sort of like logically that way. But if I've got it, you sort of know, if you've been following the channel, you know the sort of brushes that I've got. If you want to see another up close review and in depth how it sprays, a breakdown of it, I will gladly do that for you. If you're on the market looking for a brush, just message me and say, Rob, any chance you can do a video on this? I want to see this up close before I buy it. Job done. I'll do you a video on it, you know. Whether it's a paint that you're thinking, any chance you can do a little, before I weigh out a load of money, any chance you could do a review on that paint that's on your shelf that I've seen in the video. I really want to see what that's like. What's it spray like? What's the consistency like? What's the best mixing ratio? Before I chin 100 quid on a set, I'll do you a video. It's not a problem. So just drop it in the comments, guys. I'm here to help. That's what it's about. That's what this channel's about, is to help the beginners, because the long road is a struggle. And I never got that help. I was looking for YouTube at the time and there was nothing on there. The only channel that I can honestly say, and I hold my hat off to him and thank him, abundance, is Ed Hubbs. Ed Hubbs' videos, when I first started out, were, that guy is awesome, because he was giving you the tips and tricks along the way, showing you stuff, and he explained it really, really well. A brilliant teacher that I highly rate. I mean, I don't know what he's doing, but he's a lot older now. I think he's stopped YouTube or he's come back. But his videos when I first started were brilliant. Another one that I really, really liked and admired was Jamie Rodriguez, and he sadly passed away at a young age. An amazing artist. Steve Driscoll, amazing artist. Terry Stevens, gone. These good ones are gone. And it's like, these were the people that were giving you them little snippets on YouTube that would help you. And they released DVDs. I've got the DVDs, Terry Stevens, Steve Driscoll. I've also got the Power DVDs, the Australian artist. Really good teachers. And it's like, you don't get this on YouTube anymore. It's like, you just see time lapses of someone doing it. The only other one that I admire and is absolutely spot on, and we do chat, is the Art Workshop. That channel is brilliant, and that guy is an out and out amazing artist and an extremely good teacher that gives his time, his knowledge on that channel like I do for free. You are getting that for free, and that channel should have a lot more subscribers than it's got. If you want to learn photorealism, that is the channel to watch, guys. It really is, because you will pick up so much from that man as he talks to you when you watch it, because you can take it in. He's got the voice where you can just sit there with a pair of headphones on and go, cup of tea, and go, right, it's time to learn. Click, watch, thank you very much, like, subscribe. That's what it's about. And that's what I try and do with this channel. Try and put it across for you, so you pick up, you learn. Yes, we all paint differently. You know, I paint differently to the other guy. But as long as you get the end result that you're after, it doesn't matter which way you go around the artwork. You could be using the airbrush for 5% of it and using coloured pencils for the rest of it. But if you get the job done at the end of the day, happy days. You know, whatever way you want to go around it and about it, happy days. I've sort of diverted from the ADHD, but this is where my mind's going. Race, 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 race. Try and get as much on the video for you guys as I can. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm not leaving the channel. I've not been sectioned yet. You'll be known. If I do get sectioned, I'll just sneak a camera in. I'll be like that. Hello everyone, in my padded room. They won't let me have an airbrush. I'm allowed crayons. So yeah, I'll still do videos regardless. So I'm going to do a bit on this. I'm not going to film it and talk you through bits. This will be I've got bits of footage of this already. I'm going to do the unseen footage, the footage that wasn't released video on the Batwing. and then I'm going to get it all complete, and you're going to see a little bit of time lapse, a little bit of still stuff, a little bit of text coming up, a little bit of voiceover on this when I complete it. And the side panels, I'll get them cleared, and I'll just compile a video for you guys with as much info in as I can without me spraying and showing you, because it takes so long. So that will be up on the channel. I think I've covered everything. Drop your comments on ADHD. If you suffer from it, or if you know someone who's going through it, or what medication you're on, or whatever, if you are, drop it in the comments. Videos that you would like to see as a beginner. I don't mind the mixed bag of, if it's about ADHD, if it's about paint, if it's about an airbrush, if it's about this, if it's about that. Just drop it in the comments, we'll have a chat. It may take me a while to reply to you, because I'm probably sitting there for 2 hours reading your comment, going over, 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 and then I'll reply. Then I'll go read my comment over, over, over. I'll send it, see what happens. So sometimes you just get a heart. That's me going, oh my God, look at the big paragraph the guy's left. It's like, I read it and think, oh my God, it's took me like half hour to read that. And I'm like, my brain's fried. I'll just heart it. So if you just see a heart, you understand what I'm going through, but I am replying, and I do appreciate all the comments that you put up, whether you're a beginner, whether you're advanced, whether you're slating me, whether you're dissing me for using a different, I don't mind. Good and bad feedback, you know, we're all experiencing this journey in different ways, you know. So drop your comments. I've babbled on long enough. My mind is fried. I'm going to go in, sit down, have a cup of tea, and I will see you lot in the next one. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all your comments and support with the channel. I really, really do appreciate it at this minute in time. I really do. Thanks again. See you in the next one.